This is a self-driving car. It can bring people safely from one place to another. It will switch lane automatically. It will avoid obstacles. It will park by itself, stop at traffic lights. All these things work thanks to control engineering. I am a control engineer, and what we learn is to automate machines and control systems. Our fields of application are many. They go from robotic arms in the factories to the attitude and orbit control of satellites. They can reach enormous dimensions, like in the case of the famous 101 skyscraper of Taipei, where an enormous mass spring damper basically controls the building during earthquakes and prevents it from falling. So as I was saying, there are many fields of application for control engineering, but mine is very special. It's the human body. I focus on a neurological condition called tremor. Tremor is an involuntary shake, usually of the arms, but can also affect the legs or the head. People affected by tremors face big difficulties with the simplest things in life. Imagine yourself trying to drink a cup of water, eat, clip your fingernails, write a letter, you name it. Not only this, but people with tremors also feel often ashamed. They feel looked at and judged because of their anomaly when they are seen by others. Tremor has been in the interest of medicine since a very, very long time. The very fathers of medicine 2,000 years ago, Hippocrates and Galen, wrote extensively about it, actually. It's been about 200 years since James Parkinson wrote his famous essay on the shaking palsy, essentially identifying the disease that would have later taken his name, Parkinson's disease. Now, despite this, for all this time, medicine didn't really find a good answer to tremors. People with tremors are usually offered two kinds of options. The first are medications. There are some medications that have been found to have some impact on tremor. Roughly said, it means in average about half of the people see half of their tremor reduced. The problem is that this comes at the cost of very heavy side effects, which often lead them to abandon these medications. There are also a number of brain surgeries. These are getting better and safer by the day. But understandably, a lot of people are scared to undergo brain surgery. And not only this, but many are not even eligible, so not even an option for them. So what's the result? About 30 million people in the world struggle with their tremors. These are people suffering with essential tremor, Parkinson's disease, dystonia, multiple sclerosis. There are actually many diseases and conditions that are associated to tremors. These are also tremors that have often tried everything, all the options they had, and nothing worked. So they're often also discouraged. Some even feel abandoned to this. So when I first came across this reality, I thought, tremor to me looks like a human control problem. I'm a control engineer. I think I can solve it. So together with a friend, I started STIL, a company whose mission has been to engineer a solution to this. Our first approach has been that of coming up with a product that could identify and counteract tremor in real time. So to do this, we decided to put a force sensor on the arm to read every force produced by the arm, passing them to a very complex control system with advanced mathematics, which would distinguish tremor forces from voluntary motion. Then we would put everything into a embedded electronics and software, and passing everything to an actuator, which we came up with, very advanced, which would counteract tremor in the exact same time, same amplitude, and same direction. Easy, right? What could possibly go wrong? Well, we went for it. In this video, what you see is actually a younger version of me on the left, with less gray hair. And on the right, that's my colleague, my friend, IJsbrand. He's the other founder of STIL. The green object that you see around his arm is the prototype we came up following the approach I just described. On IJsbrand's arm, you see a white patch. That's from a muscle stimulator. We used to use electric shocks on his muscle to simulate tremor because he didn't have any. This process was so pleasant, which we called, that led us to call this device the tremor torturer, just to give you an idea. Now, the problem with this, despite the fact that it was getting to work technically, was that this device, the more we tested it, the more people we spoke with, the more we realized that it was not going to work. It was too big, too heavy, too expensive. So facing the very feedback of the people we tried to help, we realized that we had no other option, and we had to pull the project's plug. And start from a blank sheet. And this was not easy to say back then, although it might be easy to say here, because our company had less than 1 year of funding left before going bankrupt. But what we did have was a very motivated team of 7 people and a better knowledge of the people we wanted to help and their problem. So we didn't give up. And we started coming up with all sorts of new projects, new ideas, new approaches, and we tried everything we could. But months passed by, and nothing worked. We got to a point one day where we were working on a very promising path, and after 10 hours of long work and difficult types of integration, 10 hours went by, and we realized that that project was also not going to be working. So we were very frustrated. Honestly, we were actually close to give up. But it was late. It was dinner time. We were all together, and we said, let's order pizza and eat together tonight. While we were eating, we joked around, we relaxed, and I thought, wait. And all this time, we have been focusing our attention on the wrist. What if we came up with a product that would actually endorse the whole arm? So I explained this idea to my colleagues, but they didn't understand exactly what I meant. And I said, OK, well, I went to my desk. I picked up a pair of scissors, tape, and I started making a prototype out of the pizza cardboard. I put it on, and I told them, this. And this is the moment where I would love to tell you that this was the idea, but it wasn't. My colleagues immediately identified a problem with my approach. But what did happen is that by coincidence, it led us to a new direction, a very promising one. The shape of my prototype went behind the elbow and used it as an anchor point. We talked about it, and we said, what if we go somewhere else? We had another idea, exploiting this very geometrical feature. And within 3 days, we came up with a new prototype of what would have later been known as the STIL Orthosis. This is the product that I've been wearing here all along. The STIL Orthosis adds a mechanical resistance to the movement of the wrist and of the forearm. In this way, it blocks tremors, but it allows voluntary motion. And this product, contrarily to many other that we came up with, is very simple, it's lightweight, it's easy to use, it's even easy to take off and to put on again. And people loved it. Actually, more than this. Many of them cried when they tried it for the first time. These are people that often had to stop going out to the restaurants because they couldn't eat out anymore, and they went back to it. Some of them had to quit their work because it required too much accuracy, and I could go back to them. Some had to put down a musical instrument that they loved for 30 years, and they could pick them up again. These are people that regained their autonomy. And in a more generic way, they could go back to their lives. Thank you. Thank you very much. What this product did for tremors is just the beginning. There are many other movement disorders and impairments and human motor control problems around. Think of dystonia, ataxia, spasticity, or even children with cerebral palsy. These are all things that take a piece of life away from these people. When I look at the future, and I do not mean in 100 years, but like 10 to 20 years, I think simple orthoses like this will be the standard treatment for all movement control problems. Devices that are not invasive, that are simple, but that give you, that could give them something priceless, which is control on their own body and very lives. Now, thank you very much.